This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Well, good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. I'm Jeff Beals, your co-host. Glad that you have joined us this morning. You will not find another show anywhere in Omaha that talks about the growth and development of your favorite city. And I want everyone to know that I am sitting next to a guy that I have known for about 40 years, and his name is...
Trenton Magid.
That's right, my co-host Trenton Magid and partner in crime. And folks, I want to let everyone know that this will be an above-average show now that I'm back. It's my understanding last week that Trenton started out saying it was going to be an average show. Did you deliver? Was it average?
It was incredibly average, and it might have been above average by the end of it. And I got some flack that I didn't say it was above average, and I think our guests might have taken... a little offense to it. Mike Reedman was on, and
Blake Martin was on.
Blake Martin was awesome from Fran out of the Heartland, and it was a good show.
They all contributed.
We
to your
missed
average.
you though, Jeff.
Well, I'm back, and the show will be far above average. But Trenton, thanks for keeping the fires burning, albeit at
We kept our license
at a low level. But thank you. Okay, so this is the quarterly call-in show. It's actually it's not even quarterly. It's more like the every 2-month call-in show. One of my favorite Saturdays every 2 months. And so we have with us, sitting to Trenton's right, Brad Williams of Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting. Good morning, Brad.
Hey, good morning, guys.
and Beers with Brad podcast.
Hey, I love that Beers with Brad podcast. And the author, creator, producer, and voice of the Grow Omaha weekly or monthly construction update.
Yeah, it's about time to get out and do another one.
Very good. And then sitting next to Brad is Jorge Sotolongo, our colleague at NAI NP Dodge, also member of the City of Omaha Planning Board. Good morning, Jorge.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Whore.
Good to have you. You guys, those two do that periodically in the office.
Just random moments.
It'll go on. Yeah, Trenton will be in his office. He'll go, "Whore."
Hey.
And then you hear from the office next to him, Jorge says, "Hey, whore. Hey, Jorge." Anyway, good to have you here, Jorge.
Appreciate it.
All right. So before we get into the call-ins, which of course you're going to want to call 402-558-1110. What's that number? 402-558-1110. Let's go into our news of the week, which is brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, EagleMortgageCompany.com. They know mortgages like really nobody knows mortgages. Been doing it for about 30 years. And like we always say, if you are thinking about buying a house this spring or summer, or anytime, go get that pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage. It's tough out there. You ever notice so many of those houses that are for sale, they say coming soon? Why do they do that? Because it's a tight market. They want to whip up a frenzy of people trying to bid all of these crazy amounts of money. It's competitive. You need a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage so that you can stand up in this battle and get your dream house. You can find them in person at 114th and Davenport or online at EagleMortgageCompany.com.
So instead of a duck call, you got to make an eagle call.
That's right. Like, let's say you want to win the battle for the house that is listed for sale where Warren Buffett started Berkshire Hathaway like 1,500 years ago. You're going to want a pre-approval letter from Eagle Mortgage.
Do you think that, so it's listed, it's going to be listed at $799,000, and you'd think that somebody from out of the country or something is going to bid. If people are spending $5 million, $8 million to have lunch with them for charity, don't you think someone's going to spend $1 million to buy the house?
Yeah, actually, yes. I could see something like that happening.
And then turn it into an Airbnb or
like
something.
the most expensive Verbo house in Omaha, and they marketed it. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? I think they're setting their sights too low at $790,000.
It'll turn into a bidding war, I'm guessing. Plus, it's right around Berkshire Hathaway weekend.
Yeah, do you think that's a coincidence?
No.
I don't either. Jorge's shaking his head no.
No, I think it's going to go for $5 million. That's my
Hold
guess.
on a second. There you go.
Is that
Say
your
that again.
over-under?
Your microphone was off.
It's going to go for $5 million.
All right, I'll take under.
Could take the unders. I don't know. Don't set your sights low. All right, guys, let's get into the news this week. First of all, We had the announcement that the Sienna Francis House is starting their tiny house development. This is really cool. It's a chance for people who have experienced homelessness to get into a house. And these houses are indeed tiny. They'll be right at the corner of, 16th? And I think it's Charles or Nicholas or something like that. Right up there, just in the north side of North Downtown, if that's accurate, north side of North Downtown. But at any rate, there's going to be 50 of these houses, and they indeed will be little, 275 square feet. Like a lot of times the hotel
6
rooms.
foot height ceilings.
No, the ceiling height I think will be normal.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think like the average hotel room is about 300 some square feet. So they'll be small. But if you've ever seen like the tiny house thing on television, they make it uber efficient. Your kitchen is blended in with your bedroom.
But wasn't that the craze like in 2009 or something like that? And Occupy Wall Street and all that kind of stuff was going on, and people were putting houses in their parents' backyard. And
well, I think, a lot of times the tiny house thing, if I understand correctly, started with the environmental movement, people that wanted to make the limited impact and all that sort of thing, or they wanted to have a limited impact on their budget.
Are these for sale or for lease? Or for gift?
Now you're starting to ask specific questions that I didn't prepare.
Okay.
But there are going to be 50 of them. We know that. It's called the Cottages.
Right, let's go
16th
back
and
to what
Charles
you know.
Street. And thank you for exposing me.
You got it.
All right, guys, the city of Omaha is beginning a pedestrian safety pilot project in May to slow traffic in the Blackstone district. So we're going to have unsignalized pedestrian crossing treatments that kind of give motorists this, if not overt, subliminal message that you should slow down. They're going to take, instead of having 2 westbound lanes and 1 eastbound lane, they'll have 1 of each with a turn lane in the middle. And the goal of all this, fellas, is to enhance safety, because we've had some pedestrian incidents in the Blackstone
I'm totally
district.
against that.
It's just going to be a life-size version of Trenton clinging to the Blackstone Hotel.
Your mic was off. Can you say that?
It's just going to be a life-size, or maybe double life-size version of Trenton clinging off of the Cottonwood Hotel.
Like King Kong and the Empire
like
State
King
Building?
Kong style, exactly.
That'll help.
So that will make it safer?
It'll slow people down.
Because I'm thinking people will be staring at,
You're going to be like, what the heck?
My butt will be out in the
what
street.
the hell is that up there? You're good point. But
Throw him back. He's dying.
in all seriousness, gentlemen, this has been a bit of an issue because we got a lot of bars there. People have a good time. It gets late at night. People aren't paying attention. Motorists are going. I hate that word, by the way. Motorist drivers are going through faster than they should be, and so this is probably something that we need to do. So, if you do spend a lot of time in the Blackstone district, you may notice some subtle changes.
And wear bright colors at night.
And one of those traffic safety vests. So another thing that really encouraging, there's going to be a $50 million inpatient pediatric behavioral health facility going into a Manual. Of course, Manual is part of the CHI Health family of hospitals. 36 to 40 beds for children and adolescents age 5 to 18. Been a big shortage of these sorts of services in the metro area, so encouraging movement there.
Kudos to Ken Stinson, a community stakeholder and the CEO emeritus of Kiewit. We'd love to have him on the show to talk about it.
Kind of a similar story to that. Community Alliance, a nonprofit that has been providing mental health services for 40 years, has announced plans to expand services and build a 120,000 square foot headquarters right at 71st and Mercy Road. Now, the only negative I see about this, Brad Williams, is they're going to take down a 5-story building that was built in the 60s. I think it looks kind of cool. But this is a great move for making Omaha a healthier and safer place.
Yeah, definitely going to lose some height on that corner, but it sounds like what they want to do needs more of a hospital or clinic type setting and not an office setting. So.
Yeah, and you may have seen the renderings online or in the World Herald. Real attractive building that they're going to build there. The current facility is at 41st and Leavenworth by the Med Center. I would imagine the Med Center might have use for that building once Community Alliance leaves, but we shall see. Okay, cool project coming to the area around 23rd and Howard Street. This is an effort by Arch Icon Development and New Style Development. They're going to build the Howard Apartments, $28 million project, 6-story building, 120 market rate apartment units with 132 indoor parking stalls. So if you go to this 23rd and Howard Street area right now, you'll see a surface parking lot. But then kind of on the south side of the lot, there's the Urban Indian Affairs office, and it's Nebraska Urban Indian Coalition. And that organization is in the process of moving its offices to 23rd and N Street in the heart of South O. They built a 4-story apartment building there just a year or two ago. So they're going to they're renovating a building where their headquarters will move down in South O. So this will be a really, really nice project, Jorge.
And Arch Icon also they built the new space. So
in South O.
Yeah, they renovated the building, they built the housing. So good deal for them, good relationship they've had going, and I mean it worked out because now we get a really nice development on their current site. So.
And if you guys, if you haven't been to this 23rd and Howard Street area, it was a project that kicked off maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. They took a bunch of small apartment buildings, some single family houses. They upgraded them, renovated them. There was a group of investors involved. If I remember, I think Indomitian Sioux may have been involved in that project, if I remember correctly, as a minority investor. And they call it the Flats on Howard. And it's a really cool area. I've noticed it in recent months, maybe about a year ago. The garage flats on the west side of 24th Street there was done. This will kind of fill in that area. And it's a part of downtown that a lot of people don't think of because it's kind of tucked away back there behind the energy plant. But it really is a sign of what I think you're going to see more and more of in our downtown, midtown area with all of these urban core efforts to bring 30,000 new residents there in the next 20 years.
And you can almost consider it like the west side of the Flatiron District, because as you start heading east, you hit the Children's Museum, you hit then the real Flatiron District down there. And, these are going to be market rate, but there's going to be a lot of affordable housing as well. It's going to be a really mixed income environment down in the Flatiron. So it's going to be a really great, watch that area in the next 5 years. It's going to explode.
And, it's interesting that you mentioned the affordable. That's one thing we do really need a lot more of in the downtown, midtown area. Nice, newish apartments that are affordable. Yeah, we want to keep building the market rate stuff because we want to bring in those upper income retirees and empty nesters. We want to bring in those upper income young professionals. But if you don't have housing in that area that can provide places for everyone to live, because you need workers at all of these businesses. You don't want to get to the point where you're like, downtown. Of course, we're a long ways away from being downtown San Francisco, but you don't want to get to the point where all your stuff is so expensive that no one who works in all your fancy restaurants can afford to live nearby. So that affordable housing set-asides inside the urban core will be very, very important, and mix that all together. It's exciting stuff. All right, let's cut the news off now because it's the call-in show, and we want to give people a chance to call in. By the way, that was your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage Company. We appreciate Eagle Mortgage making that possible. Get your dial-in fingers ready. 402-558-1110. We have two people who've called. One person who's called in, Kevin. We had this guy named Terry, but all of a sudden, he just disappeared. So now we just have Kevin online. So Kevin, stay with us. We have 4 other lines open, 402-558-1110. If you want to know what's happening at, or why not this, or how come that, or I heard this rumor, we'll take a stab at it. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, Brad Williams, Jorge Sotolongo. We're brought to you by D&M Roofing and Dingman's Collision Center. And we'll be back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB. I almost blended Dingman's and D&M. I think that's my problem. Roofing. We got some roofers doing some roofing, damn it.
Terry just wanted to know what was going on with all the dirt getting moved at 84th and 370.
Which
84th and 370.
there's that Tower District that's going in.
Well,
84th and 370.
The Tommy's Car Wash is getting
Well, I know that. I thought of that.
Oh, is that his
Brothers thing.
He didn't hang
brother
on-
thing started?
he
Did he
didn't
buy it?
hang
He
on
closed
the
it? I
line,
think he
so-
did, didn't he? I don't know.
Or Omaha, which
All of
version
it
works?
works.
If we run out of time, we can go to that.
What are you calling about?
Nice hat, Titleist.
I don't golf really. I don't really go out of my way
Okay.
to buy hats either. It's just
Hold on the line. They're going to get back to calls
Nixon
here in
played
just a
golf.
couple minutes. Hold on.
Is that line from Caddyshack? Nixon played golf.
So, do you know about these Pro V1 or whatever it is?
Clubs or the
Balls.
I know nothing about them. I don't golf.
Basically, if you don't, like if you give away logo balls to your clients,
Yeah.
there's the
if they're not that, they don't want them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the most expensive. I should say no one, but a lot of
is that what you
the
guys,
serious
you guys give them out?
golfers. I think we have some, yeah.
How much do they cost?
I don't know.
they've been around for a long time, so I don't think it's like anything. They're just always like the higher end
First name.
golf
So we
balls.
we have the NAI NP Dodge golf outing staff team building event on Tuesday.
Well, it warms up.
In which,
Okay.
in which I will display my lack of golfing skills.
That
I don't think you have to have them.
I will.
The only time I've ever swung a club in my life was a couple months ago. I went with some friends to Top Golf.
Thanks,
And,
John. Bye-bye.
it was not pretty. It's
I
not,
actually hit the balls quite a bit. Not
Really?
Not that nice.
it's not something you want to start when
I
you're
beat
over
Jackie.
50. Oh, really? Jackie who?
Jackie Owens.
Oh, Great Plains
At
Communications.
the time, it was Cox.
Club 6-blade razors with 6 stainless steel blades.
Yeah, you don't want to start. You don't want to pick up golf for the first time when you're over 50. It's ugly.
I told Jeff that would be one of the first calls. 90th and Blondo.
Oh, did we get one?
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. Yeah.
Now,
What do you
Don,
think they're talking about?
Don couldn't hang on the line, but he was wondering
Wasn't it a
what's going
lottery?
on the south side of the Baxter Arena.
Oh, I think that's part of the sewer.
I think it's
I think it's part of the sewer separation
Yeah,
project.
it's in, yeah.
We'll let Brad handle that one.
MED?
Oh, you said he wasn't hanging on?
No.
No, let's say
No.
no.
Just address it, yeah.
Renovations don't have to break the bank. With Blinds.com,
When's your next start show?
Blinds.com has the selection and expertise
first weekend of
to help
June?
you customize
Where-
your perfect window
Countryside.
treatments. They even have outdoor shades for your deck or patio. And
I think that
Blinds.com
Countryside,
can
except for the
custom
Starbucks
design
bay, I think is almost
Spot
all
block.
full now.
for installation.
Yeah.
How long's the
Shop
spot block?
Blinds.com's outdoor
Well, this is 3:30. This is the one.
This is supposed to be a photography podcast, but everyone thinks it's a beer
That's
podcast.
funny. So what are you talking about then?
Beers and
Oh,
bread?
old Biden finally caved on his oil and gas leasing policy.
You
How about
just
that?
pick a photography
Now they're
subject.
talking about
Just kind of
rebranding XL Pipeline and calling
still
it
kind of
something
figuring
else.
it out. It's been
Biden Pipeline, okay.
unfortunate episodes.
Give guess.
The Joe
The last, what episode was the first guest? We just did it out at the campfire when we were out in Santa Cruz.
Okay. What,
Jorge, when's the last time you had no beard?
Had no beard?
Oh, we're on, folks.
Really?
Back to News Radio 1110 KFAB.
yeah, okay, they can answer that. What'd you say your first name was so
Just
we
sign
can
in
ask
and
it?
sound off.
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beal sitting next to Trenton Magid. We are from NAINP Dodge, and we are happy to be your hosts. The show is brought to you by D&M Roofing and Dingman's Collision Center. I tell you what, if you ever need roofing services, you want to give a call to D&M Roofing because they treat you so well. They do such a nice job taking care of their customers. Doesn't matter whether it's residential or commercial, they'll do all of that. And you can find them online at dndmroofing.com. We got Brad Williams here from E&A Consulting and also a renowned photographer. And sitting next to him is Jorge Sotolongo from NAI NP Dodge. It's the call-in show, and we've got a couple people who have called in. And the first one is Kevin, who has been waiting patiently. Good morning, Kevin, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Question is 168th Street between Pacific and Center. When will that be open?
That is supposed to be done late this summer or early this fall, last I heard. Big project. You know, when they shut it down all the way, that kind of helps with the speed of the project.
I haven't heard any different. I was thinking it should be soon.
And then they're moving right over to our side where I live on the south side of Center.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Appreciate the call. Now let's go to Patrick. Good morning, Patrick, and welcome to Grow Omaha.
Hi, thanks for taking my call. I just heard you folks bring up the affordable housing issue. I totally agree with that. As a tax accountant, I see a lot of my clients being priced right out of the market. But I don't see the city of Omaha or planning department approving too many affordable housing projects. And I was wondering what you folks, how you define that, and what would be the vision? Would it be manufactured homes, and where do you see that maybe being an opportunity?
You can blame Jorge for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can speak to it. I think last year we approved probably close to 1,000 affordable units. I mean, there's been a lot of projects. They're kind of spread out. Sometimes they don't get as much fanfare, but I think the problem is that we need to have more tools for developers and for the city to create housing, especially affordable housing. We've got TIF, we've got some other smaller incentives, but we really need the legislature and some of the laws to help us in that realm, because yes, we do have this great need. So I think we're going to start to see hopefully some new legislative solutions in the future. I mean, that's, I think, a big key to this.
Jorge, are there any rules for developers that are getting incentives to have a certain amount of low-income housing, or are they just doing it voluntarily now?
They're doing it voluntarily. Some I've seen that are just doing it voluntarily without the affordable housing designation. Others are doing a lot of LIHTC projects, which is low-income housing tax credit projects. That's a program through the state, through NIFA specifically. And sometimes those have a 70% affordable and 20 to 30% market rate. Sometimes they're 100% affordable. So there's a couple of ways to do it, but they all sort of take a long time before you can even put a shovel in the ground. There's a lot of they're competitive as well. So we need to have some more tools, I think, in order to get more affordable.
Well, shovels in the ground will help. That's another tool.
That's another tool, yes. But if you can't get it in the ground before a year and a half, then you can't really, it's not an easy process, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
When Patrick was asking the question, he talked about, like manufactured houses or whatever. And that was an interesting perspective, because I was thinking in terms of urban core, thinking more multi-story buildings and all that sort of thing. But single family affordable could be a whole nother issue for parts of the city as well.
It is, and I would look at Habitat for Humanity right now. They're doing just that.
Patrick, we appreciate the question. Thank you so much for calling in. Next up on our call-in show is Joyce. Good morning, Joyce, and welcome.
Well, good morning to you. I have a question about that that used to be a hotel on the top of 108th and Old Mill Road. What are they turning that into? They seem to be doing a lot of work up there, new parking, it looks like they're really doing work up there. And I just wondered what it was going to be.
Yeah, that is, Joyce, that is going to be the Wyndham Omaha Hotel. It had been a Sheraton, and renovations are underway now. It will be a Wyndham. Full service. We'll have a 10,000 square foot ballroom, and it'll be the exact same layout that it was as a Sheraton, but quite a bit of renovations. And the manager told me it should open early summer, I believe.
Okay. Now, my next question is, when are we going to see some uprising of things on 72nd and Dodge, where they tore everything out?
They, Lockwood Development, Century Development, they're still doing a lot of the groundwork. There's going to be a bunch of underground parking they're working on right now, and reutilizing. It used to be all the deliveries for all the big department stores and stuff had underground deliveries. They're going to use indoor parking for that, but it'll be 2024, maybe early 2025 when some of the stuff opens. But it sounds like it's going to open mainly to the east and to the west, and then the kind of the heart of it, the common stuff, will be after that. But you're going to start seeing things go up, I would say, easily within the next year.
Do you guys have any idea of what kind of, for instance, clothing stores are going to come in there? Does anybody know anything yet?
The developers haven't officially announced anything, but I think you're going to see some condos. You're going to see a big office building, I think more than 10 stories, big office building, and then you're going to see retail and stuff like that. Thanks for calling.
And a hotel as well.
Oh, all right. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Yeah, that was a very good call, Joyce. We appreciate you doing that. Let's work in one more call before we go to the news. Mark. Good morning, Mark, and welcome to the show.
Good morning. Hey, I live out in northwest Elkhorn, and I'm wondering if has there been any rumors or plans for grocery stores out in the northwest corridor out there by 204th and Maple?
Yeah.
Because we need some grocery stores out here.
You know, Hy-Vee has owned the lot on the northeast corner of 204th and Maple for a number of years now, and haven't heard a timeline when they would start building it. But they sat on the lot at 168th or 108th and Pacific for a long time too. So hopefully, with all the new houses really springing up around that area, that we'd see them start working pretty soon.
I thought we heard something that's delayed for a while.
Oh, I didn't hear that, but you could be.
But we know they do own the land, and so presumably there will be a Hy-Vee there at some point in the future. Mark, we appreciate the call. Appreciate you listening to Grow Omaha. All right, we have to take a break for the news. It is the call-in show. Everyone loves it because you can ask whatever's on your mind. And the phone number is 402-558-1110, 402-558-1110. You're listening to Jeff Beals, Trenton Magid, Brad Williams, and Jorge Sotolongo on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
I wonder if they put the one on 370 first, and then they'll do that one second.
Are they building that now?
Yeah, steel's all up.
What did you do for the novel report last week?
Hot vehicle owners.
A little bit of everything.
Okay.
Your loyalty has been
So
shown.
I don't remember specifically.
So it was nothing from that packet necessarily? That you didn't announce any news from the notes?
Is that like anything? It's not just novel.
I don't remember.
It's like anything.
Because we only do like one thing.
Just not a project.
Once you didn't like expose it all.
With Soledad O'Brien.
You
I did not.
On KFAB, quality senior living.
Right, you ever get that not so fresh feeling?
Hill's Assisted Living and Memory Care near 144th and Chapman Road has immediate
Jeff,
apartments
yes, sir.
available.
There's someone who called,
Get back to living again.
didn't want to go on the air.
Bashful guy about La Vista?
No,
Senior living
the
experts
gal,
help residents live
what's going on
independently with all
next
the
to
care you
MC
need.
Suites in the
Call
Vista.
Echo Hills Assisted Living and Memory
I
Care
can take
to
that.
discuss
Yeah, I knew
apartment
you'd take that.
availability and your specific needs.
Smash Park.
Visit
Grow Omaha, what's first name? Is that official?
Yeah, they've already made application. I've seen the.
What is it?
Tell me that.
Mary.
Yeah, sorry.
You gotta give me details. Okay.
I thought he sent you.
No, I need the who, what, where, when, why, and how.
There you go.
Are you a safe driver?
I don't need the why. I just need the who, what, where,
With
when.
DriveWise from Allstate, the safer you drive, the more you can save. And Allstate Better Protection costs a whole lot more.
Just say so involved in it.
Allstate.com or call an agent.
I've got a couple because another person wanted to talk about south side of Baxter, 84 to 370. Someone emailed, Brad said someone emailed earlier about wanting to know about 90th and Blood. I'm rather devastated that no one's brought up. Hey, we got the 90th and Center.
There you go.
Yeah, we haven't had that one in a while.
It's going to be a cancer survivor park.
Quick show. Oh yeah, it's just gonna be quick show. There's an auto dealer coming
Yeah, that's pretty highest and best.
there as well, just north.
Within walking distance of the other cancer survivor.
That big like warehouse was, and it's got a big lawn in the front.
They probably got $60 a foot in that way.
90th Street.
Nathan Grant. Next cases been going on 15 years.
Easily an auto dealer.
This is when everything blew up. That was like those.
They own. I think they own the Hy-Vee. I think they
They had
still
to
own
do some screening, put some trees.
Well, they're looking at 90th
And
Center.
then 90th Center as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Schlossberg owns two other corners. House of Pies was there, and Burger King, and VIP Car Wash.
Yeah.
Cool Putz, remember the Cool Putz?
I don't remember Cool Putz.
It was kind of a slushy, but it was like little chips of ice with like grape and green. Remember those Cool Putz?
Were they
sold that at Putt Putt?
It's like sugary water, yeah.
So they were kind of like
You get a cold headache like in a second. Yeah, like but a little
like
bit.
kind of cone ice.
It was like no, it was more like snow cones, but like a lot of syrup in it.
That's what cone ice is. Yeah, like that truck that cone. I suppose you don't have kiddos with that.
I know you're mean.
Yeah, like back in the elementary and preschool days, that damn cone ice thing would be at every function, and the kids would like want to like eat those till they vomit.
So their tongues turn purple.
Yeah. And then, like, I gave you a $20 bill. How come I don't have any change? A lot of cone ice.
See what you have to look forward to?
I know. We did a little egg hunt this morning before I got here.
Yeah,
at the house. And just gonna have a lot of candy today.
Barrett, Brad's kid's cone ice age. Has he ever done cone ice yet?
No.
How's his skate?
Oh yeah, he has.
Okay,
How's his
just
skate?
wait.
Good.
He likes it? Makes him a fighter?
No. He's like, he likes scoring goals.
Oh, man.
Tom Nesrella, the president of EMA, just emailed about the affordable, or texted me about the affordable housing, and I was going to bring it up. Well, Jason Thielen's working on that Welcome Home.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that effort. Yeah.
What's Jason's title?
CEO.
You may have heard of him. He's the CEO.
What is that initiative and what's it through?
Called
It's a
Chief
new
Executive
group.
Officer. Oh,
No.
Welcome home.
Welcome Home. They're just trying to get more reasonable.
Tone Star.
They want to work with the legislature and the city council and all those to get
That's what you need to do.
some of the.
If you made affordable housing a profitable gig for developers, they would build it all day long.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with
And it's-
making it profitable.
That's exactly what you have to do.
You have to do that.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous
So
that
that
we have
people want
to.
I mean, everything
but
from copper pipes to stormwater stuff. You know,
It's just, if you want affordable housing, then the government needs to step in.
If you could change
decrease
copper pipes for
the
pets,
cost of buildings.
You can subsidize it so
What
that
about
someone
it?
can make a
It'd be a hell of a lot
profit doing it.
cheaper.
And they don't have to
There's
make
a lot
any
of-
more money than
a
they
lot
would
of
on
little
any other
things in the
project.
code
Like
that
they're
could all add up
not like
to a
they're,
lot
I
more
mean,
before
they're
that
the
would be-
professionals.
And
They're
then
the ones that build
you
something.
need. Yeah.
You leave it to the government, they're going to spend more dollars per unit to build the same thing.
Plumber's lobby or
It's going to be a waste of money. All this taxpayer money, I don't know.
Yeah.
You just got to empower the right people to do the job. These guys are the pros.
we're not taking calls from any lorries now.
Take lorries off the list for
Yeah,
me.
and Mike.
Sokol? Okay. Hold on.
Unless your name's Lori Sokol. We know Sokol's getting retail remodeled by who?
Brad,
Leader? No, Bronco.
Costco might be doing another
No, but who
location
was
in the
the
metro
developer?
area.
Well, there was that one in Council Bluffs that.
They're in part.
That
Yeah.
died, though,
And
we
then
think.
Who's the developer?
there's one that's
I don't know, but
second.
there's guys
They
that
own-
always question.
Really? There
It's
was?
1% Productions
But there's
Yes.
bought it with, I don't know who,
that are
I mean,
saying that.
I don't know who
Because
they're
the
using to build it and all
Costco,
that.
there's believe it or
But I
not,
talked
there's
to
a
him. He's
Costco
that place owns the waiting room as well.
thing that has rattling oil fountains.
That's where the waiting room?
Okay.
Someone's neighbor's
I mean, they might have slowed
uncle
down now,
went
but I mean,
and talked to
they
a guy that
slowed
was
down.
grading dirt at Hurricane Maple and said he was building a copy.
More as like
So,
some partners from Saddle
and
Creek
the person
Records.
made it was confused.
South what?
Saddle Creek
Fleet
Records
Farm.
music.
Yeah.
That's what people are trying to tell me. No, it's Fleet Farm.
But there would be room in the
There's
intersection for
yeah,
both.
Yeah, that's
the
gonna be-
Costco and the Sam's Local are both
Should be
16
pretty
acres.
cool.
And there's tons of
That
16
Sokol's
acre
gonna be
parcels.
pretty, I'm sure it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, it's scary in there. I used to see, did you ever go see The Faint?
Yeah, I saw them
Was
many
there enough
times
room
there.
on the northeast?
I saw a lot of
room
shows there in the basement
Yeah.
too.
Costco.
That
The
was
big
the
lot there is like
That Southern Bell sounds
15.9
pretty
acres.
good.
See, I could see it because that one on Dodge is so wicked crowded. All right, people.
What on that?
That Costco. He had heard the rumor too.
News Radio 1110
to drink beer in high school in that parking lot and go into the basement for those shows. And they're like, this is-
And welcome back to the show. Jeff Beals and Trenton Magid sitting next to Brad Williams of Brad Williams Photography and E&A Consulting, as well as Jorge Sotolongo from NAI NP Dodge. We're brought to you by D&M Roofing and Dingman's Collision Center. And if you find yourself in the need for any sort of body work, you definitely want to go to Dingman's Collision Center. Dingman's restores safety to the vehicle using manufacturer recommended procedures. Family owned, family run firm. We know the family very well, consider them to be good friends of ours, and they are very customer focused and give back to the community.
And meticulous in your auto repairs.
So we thank Dingman's for being our new title sponsor, along with D&M Roofing. It's time for your commercial real estate development spotlight, brought to you by Noddle Companies. What are we going to talk about today? Noddle Companies, of course, is an Omaha-based developer doing projects all over the country. But today we're going to focus on the Builders District. Noddle Companies did that really nice new Kiewit headquarters last year, but now getting ready to break ground this summer on a timber building. This will be a building that has a timber skeleton instead of a steel skeleton. Think about those old market buildings, but with the new age, safer timber. This one is going to be directly south of the Kiewit headquarters, 1501 Fahey Street. It's going to be 125,000 square feet with plenty of parking. The goal is to be in the ground with construction before Labor Day. Will be 3.5 parking stalls per 1,000 square feet, 5-story building. It'll actually be a combo of timber and steel. There'll be places where there'll be steel, but the idea is that you'll see the timber, exposed timber. And Brad, these types of things are really getting popular around the country because people love that retro look.
Yeah, it seems like it's, like a lot of things started elsewhere and is finally trickling into the Midwest here.
But they won't be popular. That's the type of wood.
When Trenton and I talked with Jay Noddle about this project, he told us that it'll be the coolest building they've ever designed. And it'll have some retail space on the ground floor. So keep your eye out for that in the Builders District. All right, it's the call-in show. We've got some people who have been waiting. And first up is Mary. Good morning, Mary, and welcome to the show.
Well, good morning. I'm glad to be on. Can you hear me?
We can. Thank you, Mary. Go ahead.
Okay, good. First of all, I want to say that I'm certainly glad you can't see me, but this isn't a visual thing.
Okay. Yeah, we can only imagine what you mean by that.
And I also want to say that I love your show. I listen to it all the time, and I tell other people stuff, and they go, "How did you know that?"
Well, thank you. We appreciate that.
I wake up with Jeff and Trenton.
What's your question today, Mary?
I would like to know, are they ever going to do anything with that big empty lot at 90th and West Center? It's been empty for such a long time.
Yeah, I grew up in the neighborhood, and if you remember House of Pies, if you go back that far, and Putt Putt, and the Standard Station,
yes,
probably that
yes.
Amoco, the Anderson family, and then Burger King and VIP, and Putting Plus, which was video games in the old House of Pies. But Schlossberg, which is a prolific developer, owned a ton of apartments, and for whatever reason, they've chosen to keep that vacant. But it's a great corner, and we don't know why they're doing that, but they can do whatever they want with it, I guess.
I guess they can, and
I would
I
also
can just
say
keep
that
looking at
that
it
lot
and
does have a
wondering.
few floodplain issues, and they're going to come out with some revised floodplain maps later this year, which not only could help this lot, but I think it's going to help a few projects around town.
Okay, well, Mary, thank you so much for the question, and we really appreciate those nice compliments you gave us. Now let's go to Maury. Good morning, Maury, and welcome to the show. Maury? Maury, are you with us? Okay.
Silent treatment.
Okay. Maury asked, though, according to the call screener screen that I have here, he was going to ask what's happening with Sokol on 13th Street. Anyone know?
Hey, that's Wally, not Maury.
Oh, my apology.
There he is.
Thanks, Roger.
I tell you, we are going to can that producer one of these days.
Yeah, Wally wants to know what's going on.
Well, it's a renovation going on at the Sokol Auditorium there, and it seems to be pretty extensive. It's going to get a whole new interior. They're going to, really just update the building, and it seems like an exciting project.
I also noticed in the last week they put new windows in on the north side of it, so things seem to be progressing.
So it looks like good things happening. Thank you, Wally, for calling, and sorry about the name thing there. Okay, now let's go to Jane. Good morning, Jane, and welcome to the show.
It's Jan.
Jan, okay.
Roger.
We're on a roll. Go ahead, Jan.
We're just going to wish him a happy Easter, too, along with you guys, okay?
Well, thank you very much.
I'm just wondering what's going on 12th and Jones. There's a large building for sale, but is there any movement on that? Do you know?
Okay, 12th and Jones, a large building for sale.
That's the old Fairmont Creamery building.
Oh, that building, yeah.
I heard that the last project there kind of fell through during some higher than expected cost of cleaning up the old building, but I have not heard anything new from that for quite a while.
Yeah, I heard the same thing, that it was supposed to be really cool apartments, maybe a little bit of commercial, typical old market building.
This is just south of Hollywood Candy, right?
Yes, yeah, and kind of catty corner northwest of the Coneco. So from what we have heard, Jane/Jan, that this would be probably on hold for a little while. So appreciate you calling in, and sorry we don't have anything definitive with that, but it sounds like it might be in a bit of a holding pattern. If we find out otherwise, we'll let people know. Okay, now let's go to Betty. Good morning, Betty, and welcome to the show.
It's Billy.
Hi, Betty.
Hello.
Hello.
I have two questions about Sarpy County.
Okay.
What's happening at the southeast corner of I-80 across from the outlet mall? I heard the Furniture Mart had bought that property.
I'll take that one. That would be negatory. I'm friends with the Blumkin family, and maybe they're not telling me something, but and I could see it be a great move sometime. There's a lot of talk about what a great site that is. Mike Evans does an amazing job with the city of Gretna, and he would love to see the Furniture Mart there, but I don't think there's any official reports. That would be a great office site for a corporate campus or something. It'd be a great retail site. But if the Furniture Mart's going over there, they're not talking about it. And if they ever did, I'm sure it'd be a few years away at least.
Thank you. The other one is what's happening at 84th and 370 in Papillion near the water tower. There's a lot of grading going on there.
Well, I know what you're talking about. I believe Jesse Calabretto, Calabretto Building Company, has plans for a mixed-use development there. I'm not sure what specific uses. Do you guys know anything?
Yeah, it's a project that I haven't worked on personally, but I know we have at work, and it's a true mixed-use development, everything from single-family houses up to shopping, retail, office, a few restaurants. It should be a really nice-looking development. Papillion's really... It's one of their corners that they're proud of, and I think they're really going to put their spin on it and make it a really nice development.
And you're going to see a first-class Tommy's Express car wash on the southwest corner. I sold it to the CVS lot that they had it forever to Tommy's Express, and that's right next to Storage Mart.
And then the project that she was referencing under the water tower is actively being marketed by a real estate firm as well. So, Betty, thank you. Great questions. Appreciate it. Rick, we want you to stay with us because you're going to be the first call we take after the break during our lightning round. So, Rick, please stay with us. This is the call-in show. We've got Jorge Sotolongo and Brad Williams joining us, as they always do. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and D&M Roofing. Back in a moment on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
And then this is quality radio.
84th and 370 also is the jail.
Yeah. That's what corner you're talking about.
Huge addition.
Really?
Tommy's is vertical. I mean, it's building it up.
Yeah, that's coming along. Yeah.
Are they still looking for sites in Omaha?
Oh yeah.
So if you buy a Tommy's membership, does it cover all the locations?
All over the world.
Oh, really?
All over the country at least.
That's good. I need to sign up for
Tommy's,
that.
I
definitely will. Yeah, I've been meaning to do it.
Tommy's at 9th and Center. That's what they need.
God, that would be perfect
for me.
Yeah, if Flossburg would do it, I'll ask the guys. They really want to be on 84th and Center or 84th and Interstate. Take out that Fleabag Motel that gets the drug deal capital of the world.
Take out that whole corner.
Yeah, let's do our drug deal right off I-80. They'll never look at us there.
In case anyone who owns that hotel is watching, he's just joking.
Okay, Kevin, hold on. What about the
Romantics?
There's the American Shorehorn Association building.
Go to Romantics.
Bright yellow.
Yeah, is it bright yellow? I haven't seen the hotel.
Then you go back to your hotel.
What is it?
And
It's like a
after you
roofing
do what
company
you
or
do in the
something?
hotel using the stuff you want Romantics.
I had that listed.
Yellow and black.
And if you leave the tag on, you can return it.
They can tear down that. They can tear down the old gas station that's now a
Then use the merchandise at the hotel.
and the old
Then go out, cigarette, and then you go have
I'm trying to put a laundromat over there.
That's true.
You got that old plaza that they can sell. It's not
Sounds like a great Friday.
None. We'll take Rick and Kevin.
Buy some stuff at Romantics.
Because we also have a couple.
Yeah.
Leave the tags on,
Plus
so
I
you
wanna-
can return it
Yeah.
after Romantics, and then go walk across the
Yeah, no more.
Okay.
Take it to the car wash.
Big gulp at the gas station.
So the empty shopping center were good. Well, it used to be they won't sell.
Right.
Oh,
They've had like 6 offers. I've got somebody that wants to go there, but it's an out-of-town owner out of Florida.
Just turn the gun club into a car wash, indoor car wash.
That's what a guy's might put 30,000 square foot car wash inside at the Shopko that John Lunger sold.
They got it.
Over there, 144th.
That's how
They're actually going to do it.
That's how you know the car wash thing's getting out of control.
Yeah, it's a liquid business. In Europe.
And welcome back to the show. It is the Lightning Round, brought to you by Turner Construction. Turner Construction, one of the largest construction firms on planet Earth, that here in Omaha behaves like a local contractor because they work so well with clients, protecting their interests, listening to what they want, and delivering an outstanding completed project. We always say, hey, Turner Construction around here is famous because they're doing the massive Sarpy County data center in Papillion, Springfield, but they also do retail build-outs, small projects, medium projects. They do it all, and they do a great job of it. And we appreciate Turner Construction supporting us and bringing quality programming like the Lightning Round. So a couple things that you might want to hear, and fellas, feel free to jump in if you feel the need or the urge. But the former Zesto ice cream that was famous back in the old Rosenblatt Stadium days is going to be a Linus Mexican restaurant. They have a few locations around town. It had been a thing called Oasis. That's no longer there. Now it's going to be Linus. The Grove Juicery and Wellness Cafe at 24th and Farnham is looking to add a Western Omaha location sometime or somewhere between Maple and Center, west of 90th. We'll keep our eye on that. Construction has gone vertical on Church's Chicken. They were in the market years and years ago, decades ago, but they're coming back. It'll be at 168th and Spalding. By the way, there are 1,700 Church's Chicken locations around the country. Had a ribbon cutting for a store called Remain at 192 Main Street in Springfield. It's kind of cool. They sell vintage furniture, home decor, and housewares. And then finally, Shimmy Shack will hold a ribbon cutting May 12th for its new location at 1340 South 119th Street. That's right by Brother Sebastian. They are kind of like a yoga, wellness, health type business.
It's not Shake Shack, unfortunately.
And Brad, you as a photographer were invited to tour the Jean Leahy Mall this week and kind of got an up close look at what it's going to be like in there.
Had a meeting at their office, and then we walked around the Jean Leahy Mall when we were done, and everything when you're in the mall seems way bigger than it does when you're just driving by looking at it from outside. So, that pavilion seems bigger, the restroom building seems bigger, the landscaping. It's really going to be a cool park when it's done.
Yeah, and see, as a photographer, Brad gets early access to some of this stuff. By the way, if anyone ever needs his photography services, you won't find a better photographer in town. Just go to bradwilliamsphotography.com. All right, we got a call to get in here. Rick, good morning, Rick, and welcome to Grow Omaha.
Yeah, hi, Jeff and Trenton. My question for you is, what's happening with the old Sunsets Speedway on 114th and State Street?
I kind of have a little bit of an interest in this just because we went there as kids, and I actually, when I was out photographing from the helicopter last fall, I flew over and you could still see the track perfectly. And so this spring when I went by, I noticed that there was dirt moving in there. So last week I was out that way, and I actually pulled in and walked up to the edge of the track and looked, and I can't tell what they're doing. I think they were moving dirt or borrowing dirt from somewhere in there, and maybe they ran a utility line through that property. But as far as I know right now, there's not anything going on that I can find.
And I've been so curious about that myself because there's a lot of activity. This is 114th and State, by the way. On the southeast corner, there's a Celebrity Homes neighborhood. On the north side, northeast, is the massive Google data center campus that's being graded. There's a new trucking company terminal there. And
RL Trucking.
RL, yeah. And I've heard that Google might even be acquiring more land in that area, but we don't know about that corner yet.
The track is still intact. If you didn't mind the corn stalks, you could go in there and turn a couple laps, no problem.
Not that we're recommending it, Rick. We don't want you to get in trouble and blame us. All righty. We are almost out of time, but we're going to squeeze Kevin in really fast. Kevin, can you ask a question quickly?
Hi, guys. Over 93rd and Center, a little north of there was a 9-hole golf course that was going to be developed into housing. Got any status on it?
Yeah, NP Dodge Company, the company we work at, Nate Dodge owns that property, and I think it'll be some multifamily and some single family, but he has not announced when that project will start. So it's in a holding pattern right now, but we get calls all the time for people that want to buy lots.
We appreciate that, Kevin. Thanks for listening. Hey, Brad, someone emailed in before the show about 90th and Blondo.
Yeah, we had it in the newsletter a couple weeks ago, and it was in the last construction update video, but there's a quick shop going in where Romeo's used to be.
Go ahead, Trent.
You want to talk about people also called in about what's happening at Southport West, and there's going to be a 25,000 square foot, 3-acre Smash Park. If you're familiar with it from Des Moines, it's pickleball, bar, restaurant, family entertainment, all kinds of stuff. And it'll be a welcome addition when it gets approved right across from Cabela's.
And that's your lightning round brought to you by Turner Construction. And by golly, that's your whole show there, too. Jorge Sotolongo, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Brad Williams, always good to have you.
Yeah, always great being here.
Okay, that's it for this. Oh, wait.
Want to kill another minute?
Oh, I thought we were okay. Well, actually, we have a little more time, so I can squeeze in this other thing that a person wanted to ask that we didn't have time for. They wanted to know about the south side of Baxter Arena by Exarban, and it's my understanding, Brad, you probably know this better, but that's related to the storm sewer separation project.
Yeah, I believe they built a few of these different. They're kind of facilities to clean up the storm water before it's released in the creek. There's one down just south of the old market. There's one in South Omaha, kind of just south of the stockyards, and I believe this is just another one of those facilities to leave the environment better than we have it.
It's a beautiful one.
Well, if you appreciate concrete in civil engineering and all that sort of thing, I would agree with you. Actually, it's a big one, and they've been working on that one a long time.
A lot of big cranes have been working there for a few years now.
But I think sometimes I've had several people ask me about that because they know so much is going on at Exarban and it looks so cool and it's a special place. People are saying, oh my God, what's going on the south side of Baxter Arena? I can't wait to try it. No, you don't want to try it. There's going to be some dirty water coming out of there, but not as dirty as it used to be. That's where one creek empties out into another one. All right, now the music's playing, and now we have to shut up. So on behalf of Jorge Sotolongo from NAI NP Dodge and Brad Williams from Brad Williams Photography and ENA Civil Engineering Firm, ENA Consulting Civil Engineering Firm, that's it for this week. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by D&M Roofing, Dingman's Collision Center, and Turner Construction. We'll chat with you again next week at 9 o'clock right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.
My headphones were cutting in and out a little bit.
What's that?
My headphones were cutting in and out a little bit.
Were they intermittent?
Did you see when I had this on?
I did. I was focusing.
Yeah. I sent you the picture.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.